Take off your sneakers, give up the race. You lay down your head by sweet riverbed. I just wanted to show folks watching this video the terrain, the wintry conditions that we have here, and how delightfully beautiful this looks. I also wanted to include a quick word on the new winter boots that I'm wearing. I can put them down. Well made by WindRiver, which I believe is a Canadian company. Mind you, I think this particular boot was made in Cambodia. So I've been wearing this boot now quite a few times in the last month, and pretty well have broken in the boot. It still needs a little bit more wearing and tearing. I've walked through some bog, heavy duty. It was very watery, probably about, at some intervals, maybe about 6 inches of water. Anyways, absolutely no water seeped through. And I spent maybe a couple of miles walking through bog. And as well as when I was away from the bog, in more dry trails, sort of like this, there were certain areas where we had puddles. So I walked through the puddles as well, and I didn't feel any water seeping through. And when I got back home, you know, this was probably after a marathon of hiking, I took my shoe off and noticed that my smart wool sock was a bit damp. Now, mind you, I think that has largely to do with the sweat that was coming out of my foot. And I felt the inside of the shoe, so the nice comfortable sole that's in there, it wasn't damp at all. And I actually took the, not sure if I'm using the correct name here, but if this becomes a video, I'll use the appropriate term. So I took the padding, took it out, and then felt the bottom part of the inside of the boot, and noticed that there was a bit of dampness, not very much. So again, I can't say for certainty, you know, if that wetness was due to the sweat coming from my foot, or that has come from the outside. But either way, as far as I'm concerned, that certainly is a good indication that the boot is held up to its integrity and what it claims to be usable for. So I also wanted to say that the FX ice grips seems to be useful. Mind you, I think it's important to note that they are, you know, not as effective as cleats that you could put on the bottom of the shoe for really icy conditions. So it helps, but it's not fail-safe. So you certainly want to keep that in mind. Now, just earlier today, I was walking up a very steep hill, and it was the sort of hill that you wouldn't want to use the camera to record unless you had it in some stationary place. But anyways, I didn't slip, not once. And mind you, last night it rained a lot, and it was freezing, and then the snow came down on top of that. So anyways, walking up that, I didn't slip, did not slip once. So that's also a very good sign as well. Now, in the event that the waterproofness starts to fade away, then, based on my personal experience, I think one of the best things to use, again, this comes down to preference. I'm very comfortable with using mink oil. And so over the years, with my other leather winter boots and hiking boots, it's certainly been very effective for me. So another really important feature of this particular Backwoods WindRiver boot is that the bottoms are thick enough, and the grip is very adequate for these sort of conditions that I'm on now. But as it stands, as you can see, there's lots of rocks protruding up through the snow here, And anyways, with this particular shoe, I could walk on these jagged rocks and I don't feel any discomfort. Okay, so another, I think, very valuable feature that this particular shoe has, I don't know if you can notice here, but the bottoms of it, they come out. So if you're walking along and you hit a rock like this, the thickness in front of it will end up preventing you from getting your toe banged, so to speak. And because the thing, especially if you're walking really hard and you don't have a good boot on, you could certainly break a toe.
Sunny lives on a farm in a wide open space. You can take off your sneakers and give up the race. You can lay down your head by sweet